have been robbed of great video game based movies. If there was any franchise that can show the potential of making a good video game movie, it would be the most recognizable video game character of all time. So about this Super Mario Brothers movie, is it any good? Let's get straight to the part that everyone had a problem with, to the point that it may have ruined the movie experience for a lot of people. Chris Pratt. Bad voice acting can be a deal breaker. Good voice acting, while sometimes invisible, can be praised. Mediocre voice acting divides fans based on their opinions on the rest of the movie, which is more dangerous than bad voice acting, because when, not if, this movie is successful, the voice acting will be used as a portion of the justification as to why. Which brings us back to Chris Pratt, who was dragged for being casted as Mario in this movie. While Chris Pratt was not the worst voice in the movie, there was another voice that I ended up not liking, which is unfortunate because their personality is amazing and somewhat carried the movie. Yes, I'm looking at you, Princess Peach. It's not that Anya Taylor-Joy was bad, but it never felt like I was listening to a character named Princess Peach. It felt like the movie should have been broken up with ads about new episodes of Smallville premiering on the CW. This is gonna sound neckbeardish of me to say, but the cast sounded a little too normie. For a premise about a plumber and his brother saving a kingdom of mushrooms and a lone princess from a giant Koopa, you can get wackier in your voice direction. But honestly, that leads me to the bigger topic here, and that's who slapped their name on this project. In 2018-2019, I was excited about the crazy directions movies can go. Spider-Verse changed the landscape on top of being entertaining. Teen Titans Go to the Movies had something to prove and shattered expectations. However, when I watched Secret Life of Pets 2, it was just 86 minutes of a plot that you would see on Nickelodeon or something, minus the pop culture songs, celebrity voice actors, and cinematic feel. Now, I liked that movie, but it didn't have much of anything. But did it need to if it was entertaining? No. That's how I feel about this movie. It was a good hour and change of an interesting plot, pop culture songs, celebrity voice actors, and a cinematic feel, with Mario references laced throughout. Did it push the boundaries of animation? No. Did it have a plot that made me interested in a deeper lore? No. Was it entertaining? Kinda, yeah. That's really the Illumination formula, the art of a B- or a C+, to do good enough for no major complaints, but not blow me away. But I don't think it needed to. I was in school, a B-, a C+, you're not gonna get a complaint from me. For example, I thought the music was fine, but when you hear the easily recognizable pop hit, it kinda broke the immersion. The sense of platforming was addressed in a cool way, but there wasn't many shots that really made platforming look cool. I think if you have a good time watching this movie, it can show Nintendo and other franchises that if you can just lob the ball over the front plate and hit a nice single, that's miles and miles better than completely missing the mark for a popular franchise, leading into companies thinking that it's too risky to put out a movie that fans have been waiting for years up to this point. I'm looking at you, Sly Cooper movie. But about the plot, it's simply about Mario and Luigi getting separated via a green pipe that gets them both tangled up in Bowser's plan to marry Princess Peach or destroy the world trying. Mario's main quality is that he doesn't give up, despite being outclassed in many ways with different people. Speaking of outclassed, Mario and Luigi were blown out of the water compared to the performance of Princess Peach, Bowser, Toad, and Donkey Kong. Even though the voice acting for her is mixed for me, Princess Peach is the best character as far as performance in the movie. It was clear that they did not want to make her a damsel in distress, instead of opting for being more multifaceted but not overpowered. I enjoyed that she stood up for herself and her kingdom, but didn't completely get Mario out of here. However, if someone made the criticism that Princess Peach was more useful in too many parts of this movie compared to Mario, I totally understand how you may see it that way. I did think that she trusted Mario a bit too fast, but given that she's only seen nothing but shrooms her entire life, maybe you too would be curious in the short, pudgy red hat man with the mustache. And you know who else was too? Bowser. Bowser was just fantastic. The older I get, the more I realize that the villains make the movie. The jealous angle within the movie was incredibly interesting to see, as he maintained the aggressive and dominant stance that you would think they would have towards practically everyone in the movie, but also have this very open layer of insecurity about his self-worth and what Princess Peach thinks about him. That's a very hard balance to have. Too aggressive and the vulnerability won't have that duality effect, but too insecure and the aggression loses its power. Between him and our next character to look out for, they had the best voice direction in the movie, which isn't saying much, but Toad was fantastic too. It might be my favorite character within the movie. He's this perfect mix of bombastic, ignorant, and friendly, where you cannot help but like him. His loudness did not feel like a crutch for solid character development. In fact, I wish he was louder. If so, he might have had my favorite dynamic within the movie. But that title goes to Donkey Kong and Mario. You can make an entire show based off of the rivalry between Donkey Kong and Mario based off of their scenes within this movie. I even preferred them two duking it out more than when Mario's with Princess Peach, or Bowser, or even Luigi. It's almost as if he comes alive around Kong in a way that he has to be reserved and shy around Princess Peach, or mostly afraid of Bowser, or slightly frustrated but overall protective and a supportive brother towards Luigi. With Kong, there's no love lost, and that brings out the best in his character oddly, especially given the plot requires a lot of challenges to be overcome. But speaking of Luigi, I found him to be the weakest character within this main cast. It's not that he was bad or boring, but similar to Mario, I don't think they wanted them to do too much beyond the plot, which made him more of a functional character than a character that kind of stood out. In fact, if anything, he seemed like the damsel in distress. He seemed largely reactionary, which is one of the missed opportunities of this movie and probably entering spoiler territory, but I'm gonna be vague about it. I enjoyed the family aspects a lot within the beginning and end, with them expressing more than just concern for Mario and Luigi's plumber job. It's just that Luigi, for the most part in this movie, is just separated until he's needed again. Like if I said he was caged up, that's not hyperbole. However, we get to the biggest aspect that I think makes this movie for a lot of people. It's chock full of references. I know many of you are hardcore fans, but majority of people who are watching this, 95% of people who end up getting a ticket to watch this movie probably played a handful of Mario games, if that, in their entire life, and probably are interested in other things. So when you see these very surface level references to songs or Mario Kart or Luigi's Mansion, they're really making it for people who aren't mega fans, as mega fans are most likely going to see the movie regardless. That's why they're mega fans. If it appeared in this video that I have been more forgiving than critical towards aspects of this movie, it's because while definitely not in my best movie seen recently conversation, I'm glad we got an adaptation that wasn't entirely dismissive of its fan base, allowed itself to have fun with parts of the lore, and didn't risk sending Nintendo adaptations back into the file cabinet for the next 20 years. So, about that Super Mario Bros. Movie, it was pretty cool.